You've seen the stories, the heroes who outlast everyone else, the warriors who keep moving when the battlefield is littered with the fallen. But here's the truth they never told you. Every successful person you admire is just the last man standing. Not the fastest, not the strongest, not the most gifted, the one who refused to quit.
You think greatness is about talent? About some secret gift you weren't born with? No! It's about the fight in the dog. It's about standing in the fire, bleeding, shaking, and saying, "I'm still here." Every day, the common man does the unbelievable because he didn't stop when it broke him, and now it's your turn.
Down this path, you're going to see corpses. People who tapped out when the pain got real. People who let fear choke them. You're not here to run past them. You're not here to be faster. You're here to finish. Plant your flag where they fell. Grind where they quit. Stand where they broke. Finish.
Look closely. The difference isn't in skill. It's in decisions. One small choice at a time. Wake up when it hurts. Train when no one claps. Take another step when your legs are burning. The last man standing doesn't win because he's perfect. He wins because he accumulates one more day, one more choice, one more rep than the rest.
This is the battlefield of life, and the truth? Most won't make it, not because they're weak, but because they chose comfort over pain. But you've got a different destiny. Your arc isn't about ease, it's about scars, about the storm, about the grit to endure until everyone else is gone and you remain.
What are you scared of? That you'll fail? That it'll hurt? Good. That fear means you're close to something real. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Stop waiting for motivation. The last man standing isn't motivated. He's obsessed. He doesn't wait. He moves. He bleeds. He learns. He keeps going when the rest fold.
When the voice in your head says, quit, you answer with fire. When your body says, no, your spirit roars, go. That's the gap. That's the brutal space where most disappear, but not you. You'll walk through hell and make it home. You'll bury your excuses here. You'll finish when others fall, because you are the storm.
Think of it like training. Muscle only grows when it tears. Spirit only hardens when it's tested. Discipline only becomes real when the mood is gone. That's why the pain is your ally. Every rep when you're empty, every step when you're broken, that's where you separate. That's where you claim the ground that others abandoned.
And here's the paradox. The reward doesn't come to the fastest. It comes to the most stubborn, the ones who stay, who crawl, who refuse to disappear. That's the anime arc you're writing, the rivalries, the setbacks, the endless grind. Every fallen warrior is proof that the path is real, but every step you take past them is proof that you're becoming legendary.
So look around. The path is bloody. The corpses are real. And you're still breathing, still standing, still moving. Do you understand how rare that is? Most people are gone by now. That means you're already different, already dangerous, already proving that pain couldn't kill you. Now keep going. It's your turn.
Listen, pain is the door fee. Struggle is the toll. You don't get through this arc without paying in blood, sweat, and doubt. But pay it gladly. Pay it with every ounce. Because every sacrifice stacks into your castle. Every scar becomes your armor. And every broken night becomes your banner. You don't crumble. You conquer.
Every fighter meets the wall, the point where breath runs thin, and every step feels heavier than the last. That's not the end. It's the threshold. Most retreat here. But the last man standing uses this wall as resistance training. Pressure is the forge. Pain is the teacher. Endure here, and you've already crossed where most vanish.
You'll see their names scratched into the dirt, the ones who almost made it. They trained, they fought, they bled, but when the storm screamed, they laid down their weapons. Don't join them. Don't leave your story unfinished. The ground doesn't need another body. It needs proof that someone made it through.
You're not broken because it hurts. You're becoming. This is the metamorphosis, the cracking shell, the tearing muscle, the blistered hands. Stop wishing for ease. Wish for strength. Wish for the grit to face the fire head on. That's where greatness is hiding. Inside the pain you keep running from.
This path is not lined with trophies. It's lined with graves. But your footsteps will not be among them. You'll spit blood, you'll grind your teeth, and you'll keep moving. Not because it's easy, not because it's fair, but because you refuse to be erased. Stand in the pain, live in it, own it. Because pain bows to no coward, only to warriors who refuse to fall.
Break the myth. Pain doesn't signal failure. It signals progress. A body sore from training is a body growing. A mind stretched by discipline is a mind sharpening. Every ache, every scar, every lonely night is data, proof that you are still in the fight when most aren't.
Imagine it. 1,000 warriors start the climb. By the first valley, half are gone. By the second storm, more collapse. By the final mountain, it's you and silence.
So when it sucks, when it drags, when your lungs feel like fire, don't ask, why me? Ask, why not me? Why shouldn't you be the one who finishes? Why shouldn't you be the one who proves that ordinary bones can carry extraordinary weight? This is your trial by fire. And the fire doesn't burn you, it reveals you.
Pain isn't your enemy. It's the gatekeeper. It asks, how badly do you want this? And your answer is your footsteps. Keep walking when your chest heaves. Keep swinging when your arms shake. Keep rising when your knees buckle. Pain doesn't stop you. It crowns you. And those who quit, they never wear that crown.
Zoom out. A year from now, today's agony will be a story, a chapter in your saga. What feels unbearable now will feel like training later. Perspective is power. Every rep in the dark builds momentum you don't even see. One day, you'll look back and realize, the pain wasn't punishment, it was preparation.
Down this path, the corpses multiply, and the closer you get to the summit, the lonelier it becomes. That loneliness, that's your sign you're close, because the higher the climb, the fewer the survivors. But the view at the peak, that's reserved for the ones who refuse to break.
Everyone says they want it until it hurts. Everyone dreams of glory until it costs. But you're paying the toll right now. Every second you refuse to quit, you're buying a future they'll never touch. Don't hand it back. Don't fold. Finish what you started. Make pain your ally, not your excuse.
You've bled before, you've fallen before, but you're still here. You survived what was meant to bury you. You endured nights that should have broken you. So why stop now? The storm already tried, and it failed. So roar back at it. Show the battlefield that you don't just endure pain. You weaponize it.
Here's the formula. Pain plus time plus refusal equals transformation. Most people subtract time, subtract effort, subtract resilience, and that's why they never change. You add time, you add grit, you add fire, and the result is something unrecognizable, a version of you that pain couldn't kill.
Every scar you carry is a line in your legend. Every drop of blood is ink on the page. And when the book of your life is opened, let no one say you quit on the chapter that hurt. Let them see you pushed, endured, and kept writing until the story became immortal.
So don't run from the pain, run into it. Don't hide from the storm, stand in the center of it. Because every minute you endure what others escape, you become rare. And rarity is value. Pain is the price of entry, and you're paying in full. That's why you'll finish where they fell.
Discipline isn't flashy. It isn't fireworks or highlight reels. It's the boring reps no one claps for. It's the alarm clock, the early rise, the quiet grind. Most people quit here because it doesn't feel epic. But this monotony, that's the dojo of greatness. Repetition is the gatekeeper. and you must pass through it every day.
Think of anime heroes. Their greatest arcs aren't built on one battle. They're built on endless training montages. Days, weeks, months of silent work. No audience, no applause, just sweat dripping onto stone floors. That's where you're standing now. This is your training ground.
Everyone wants the glow, the shine, the title. Few want the grind. That's why the battlefield is empty long before the war is done. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not meant to be. It's meant to strip you down, rebuild you, and sharpen your edge until you're unrecognizable to the version of you that once needed motivation.
There will be mornings you feel like stone, muscles locked, spirit heavy. But the last man standing doesn't bow to feelings. He bows to the mission. He drags his body through the routine. And in doing so, he transforms stone into fire. That's discipline. Doing it anyway. Bleeding through the silence until silence becomes your anthem.
Habits are the bricks of your empire. One brick at a time, stacked daily, without fail. The crowd disappears during this stage. No one cheers when you choose water over excuses, study over scrolling, sleep over distraction. But that's when the transformation is happening, layer by layer, rep by rep.
The corpses on this path, many of them didn't die in battle. They died in boredom. They couldn't handle the grind. They wanted the mountaintop without the climb. But you'll climb anyway. You'll embrace the dull edge of discipline until it cuts sharper than any blade.
Stop looking for excitement. Stop chasing motivation. If you need hype to move, you're already finished. Discipline is about showing up when it sucks, when it's raining, when your body aches, when your mind screams, "Not today." That's when you double down. That's when you prove you're different.
You want to know the truth? The strongest don't rise in battle. They rise in silence. When no one's watching, when no one cares, when the reps pile up like corpses. That's when warriors are born. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. And you were built for the shadows.
Think of time like compound interest. Every small action, repeated daily, multiplies. Discipline is investment. Skip it, and the cost grows. Honor it, and the returns explode. One day, what looks small now will become unstoppable momentum. That's why the dull days matter most.
Picture it. Thousands started, few remain, and among those few, discipline is the dividing blade. Not talent, not luck. The willingness to keep the grind alive long after the novelty fades. That's the separator. That's why when the dust clears, you'll still be standing.
So, tell me, will you show up tomorrow? When the hype is gone? When the storm is quiet? Will you move anyway? That's the test, and most will fail it. But not you. You'll pick up the sword again. You'll face the empty room, and you'll swing until greatness has no choice but to answer.
Discipline is battle. Every morning a duel. You versus the voice that says rest. You versus the whisper that says later. Slay that voice. Crush that whisper. Because if you let it live, it will grow stronger than you. Kill it daily with action. That's how you remain standing when others fall.
The formula is simple. Motivation fades, excitement dies, but habits endure. Habits keep you on track when your feelings betray you. Anchor yourself to process, not passion. Build systems so strong that even your weakest day moves you forward. That's how you win the long game.
Discipline is the crucible. It refines the iron from the dirt. Most will never survive its heat, but you'll stay in the fire, because you know when the flames die down, the weapon that remains will be you, forged, relentless, unbreakable.
So, keep going. Not because you feel like it, not because it's fun, but because you promised yourself you would. Because discipline is who you are now. And the last man standing isn't the one who shouts loudest. He's the one who never stopped swinging, even when no one watched.
Discipline builds the body, pain builds the will, but legacy, that builds the soul. And legacy isn't about trophies, it isn't about applause. Legacy is what echoes after you're gone. The question isn't whether you'll fall, the question is whether you'll rise so many times that your name becomes a story worth retelling.
Do you really think people remember who had the most money, the flashiest moves? No, they remember the one who finished, the one who kept going, the one who left proof that ordinary bones can carry extraordinary weight. That's the legacy you're writing right now. Every rep is ink, every scar is punctuation.
Legacy is built in chaos, not comfort. In heartbreak, not applause. Every scar you wear becomes armor for someone else. Every fight you endure becomes permission for another to stand. You don't carry just your own weight. You carry the spark for those who will come after. Bleed so they can believe.
Think generationally. What you do now ripples forward. A son, a daughter, a stranger. You may never know their names, but they'll rise because you did. That's legacy. It's not fame. It's not trending. It's impact carried forward. Invisible, but unstoppable. Legacy is the footprint that refuses to fade.
Imagine the battlefield centuries from now, your name etched in whispers, not because you never fell, but because you rose one more time than you collapsed. That's what they'll remember, not perfection, resilience, not talent, tenacity, the proof that one stubborn soul could shift the world.
Everyone wants to be remembered. Few are willing to pay the price. Legacy costs blood. Legacy costs sweat. Legacy costs nights of silence where you scream into the void and get nothing back, but keep going anyway. That's the toll. And if you pay it, history will pay you back in immortality.
You think death ends you? No. Quitting ends you long before the grave does. Warriors die, but their fire remains. And that fire is legacy. So don't hand it away. Don't let weakness write your ending. Write it in fire. Write it in steel. Write it in every scar that proves you didn't break.
Legacy is not one moment, it's accumulation. 1,000 mornings you didn't quit. 1,000 nights you kept moving. Each one stacks, invisible, until the world can't ignore it anymore. People will say you changed overnight. Number. You changed every day, and the world finally noticed.
You want to know the truth? Legacy isn't loud, it whispers. It's in the journals of a fighter who stood up one more time because your story lit the spark. It's in the quiet prayers of someone who believed again because you kept going. That's immortality, not statues, not songs, but the spark of belief passed forward.
So stop chasing applause. Stop craving validation. Do the work that no one sees, because that's the work that outlasts you. The last man standing doesn't just finish for himself, he finishes for every broken soul who needed proof it could be done. That's your calling.
When the corpses litter the path and the silence grows heavy, remember this. You're not walking alone. You carry the ghosts of those who couldn't make it. You carry their unfinished arcs, and by finishing yours, you honor theirs. That's the oath of the last man standing, to stand not just for yourself, but for all who fell.
Legacy is leverage. It multiplies beyond you. One disciplined life can alter thousands, but only if you refuse to vanish, only if you keep stacking when it hurts. Legacy is math disguised as myth. The equation: discipline plus endurance plus time. Solve it, and you become unforgettable.
You don't get a second book, no do-over, no chapter 1 again. This is it. This breath, this rep, this step. The story you're writing right now will be the one that remains when you're gone. So write it well. Write it in sweat and scars. Write it like your life depends on it, because it does.
So next time life smacks you in the mouth, don't complain, don't fold. Smile, wipe the blood, and whisper, That all you got? Because that moment, the one where you keep going, that's the one they'll retell. That's the one that becomes legacy. That's the moment you become immortal.
Legacy isn't given, it's taken. Taken through suffering, taken through fire, taken through endless nights of pain. And when you claim it, when you stand at the end, broken but breathing, you'll know. You became the storm. And storms don't die, they echo forever.
The storm is here, and this is where most vanish. The rain blinds them, the wind breaks them, but not you, because storms don't scare the last man standing. Storms sharpen him, every bolt of lightning, every crash of thunder. Another reminder, you're still alive, still moving.
You feel like breaking? Good. That means you're close. Close to the edge where legends are born. Close to the threshold where the weak turn back. This is the moment that decides who's remembered and who's forgotten. So don't run from the storm, become it.
Rain in your eyes, blood in your mouth, fear in your chest, and still you move. That's the proof. You're not waiting for clear skies. You're not waiting for comfort. You're carving your way through chaos, and chaos bends to those who refuse to bow.
The storm is opportunity disguised as destruction. Most see it as the end. You see it as the filter. The storm removes the pretenders, leaving only the relentless. Stand tall here, and you'll inherit a battlefield cleared of doubt, of distraction, of competition.
Look around. The path is silent now. Those who fell are gone, but your footsteps still echo. This is what it means to be the last man standing. Not that you never staggered, not that you never bled, but that you endured every storm that tried to erase you.
Do you feel the fire? That's not destruction, that's rebirth. The storm is burning away the weakness you no longer need. Let it. Let the thunder strip you down. Let the rain drown the excuses. And when it clears, only the weapon remains. You.
Roar back at the sky. Tell it you're unbreakable. That every strike only fuels you. That every gust only roots you deeper. The storm isn't your enemy. It's your sparring partner. And you're winning this round.
Think tactically. The storm won't last forever, but you will. Every minute you endure is another step closer to clarity, another layer of resilience. Don't fight the storm. Absorb it. Let it build you into something the calm could never create.
Heroes are remembered for battles. Legends are remembered for storms. Because storms prove what battlefields can't. They prove endurance. They prove defiance. And when the clouds finally part, only one figure remains, the one who never surrendered.
So, what's it gonna be? Fold like the rest? Or stand until the skies break? This is the decision point. This is your anime moment. The scene where everyone else doubts, where even you question, and then you rise, and rise again, and rise until the storm bows first.
Bloodied but unbroken. Scarred but standing. This is who you are now. The warrior who outlasts. The fighter who refuses to stay down. You don't need to win every round. You just need to still be here when the final bell rings. And you will.
Longevity beats intensity. The storm proves that. Short bursts fade, quick wins crumble. But the one who keeps moving, step after step, owns the future. Consistency is the ultimate weapon, and you've built it.
Listen, when the book of your life is read, no one will care how easy it was. They'll care that you didn't stop, that you stood when all others fell, that you walked through storms and turned them into fuel. That's what they'll remember. That's what echoes.
So whisper it to yourself. Scream it to the sky. I will not break. Again, louder. I will not break. That's the creed of the last man standing. That's the roar that storms respect.
Every storm ends, and when this one does, what will remain? Not the quitters, not the corpses. You, the unbroken, the relentless, the last man standing. Because you didn't just survive the storm, you became it.
Your legacy begins here, storm-tested, fire-forged, discipline-driven. This arc will echo long after you're gone, and the next generation will rise because you showed them how. That's the multiplier effect of endurance.
Breathe. Feel the silence after the thunder. This is victory. Not loud, not glamorous, but undeniable. You're still standing, and that means you've already won.
Say it now. I'm not done, because you aren't. This storm was only one arc. The journey continues. The path stretches further, but you've proven the one truth that matters. You cannot be broken.
The final strike has landed. The clouds begin to part, and there you are, scarred, bloodied, but upright. You conquered the storm, and in doing so, you conquered yourself. That's the essence of the last man standing.
So when history whispers your name, it won't be with pity, it'll be with awe. Because you weren't the fastest, you weren't the strongest, you were the one who didn't fall, the last man standing, and that is a story worth telling forever. Now it's time to take action. Like and subscribe, then get to work.